There's something broken inside of me, something no one else can see. Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with me. I got friends that I never see. They say they don't have time for me. I try to reach out to my family, but I just get voicemail. I try to watch TV, it only saddens me. Everyone's yelling and screaming and fighting in the street. I put some pizza in the microwave, forgot about it for several days. Then when I found it, I just threw it away. There's surely something wrong with me. All the kids in the neighborhood tell me I don't look so good. How I would change it all if I could, but I can't seem to. Every day used to be such possibility. Now every road that I take leads to failure and despair. Watch out now. There's something broken inside of me, but whatever will be, will be. I guess that this is just my destiny, because there's something wrong with me. Mark Cohen, everybody.
I went to get a colonoscopy. They said, I'm sorry, sir, you gotta leave. It turns out I was at the DMV. I think there's something wrong with me.
That was great. Now you try one at home. I guess that this is just my destiny, because there's something wrong with me. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody run for the western side. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody's drinking turpentine. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody run for the woods. Someone's shitting on a shingle and it isn't looking good. Blood on the front page of all the newspapers, blood on the feathers of all the little birds. There'll be no more mystery, there'll be no more unknown. My poor little brother's naked and alone. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody run for the western side. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody's drinking turpentine. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody run for the woods. Someone's shitting on a shingle and it isn't looking good. Sur le pont des Invalides, dansez dans petit cyclotron. Sur le pont des Invalides, dansez dans ton petit Dupont. Sur le pont des Invalides, dansez dans petit électron. Sur le pont des Invalides, faites une nuit de petits neutrons. Du signe à la lune dans tous les journaux, et dessus les plumes des petits oiseaux. Il y a plus des mystères, il y a plus d'inconnus. Pauvre petit frère, vous êtes nus. Sur le pont des Invalides, dansez dans petit cyclotron. Sur le pont des Invalides, dansez dans ton petit Dupont. Sur le pont des Invalides, dansez dans petit électron. Sur le pont des Invalides, faites une nuit de petits neutrons. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody run for the western side. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody's drinking turpentine. Don't look now, shit on a shingle, everybody run for the woods.
Testing the microphone 1, 2. Check. Check. Test. Computer volume 10. Computer, how much coffee?
As of close on Thursday, June 11th, coffee futures traded at $2.54 per pound on the Intercontinental Exchange.
Fuck. Whew, whew. Check. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Get out of here, fly. Whew. Ah. Hello? That's what I wanted to do. Hello, everybody. Are you there? Can you hear me and can you see me? Carino Opinion says, "Hi, Henry. Are you okay?" Yeah, I'm okay. There's been a couple of little technical situations here. But first, I want to ask, can you see me? Can you hear me? Am I beaming my image to you along with my sound waves? Kalamazoo Dog says, "Can you hear us?" I'm shouting at my green screen. I'm not sure if it works that way where I can hear you, but Unicorn Physics says, "Looks good, sounds good." Okay, a lot of people saying yes. Okay, good. Snisku says, "I can hear you, Henry, and I can see you. Can you hear me?" No, guys, I don't think the technology exists where I can see you and hear you, but I can see you're chatting, and that's good. We would have to be on a Zoom call, but can you imagine doing a Zoom call with how many people do we have here? 129. I guess I could imagine that. Carino Opinion says maybe in 10 years we'll have that technology. Maybe one day, yeah. Technology is moving very fast. Just as an example, I have a phone that operates not just as a phone where you can call anybody you want anywhere, but you can also use it as a calculator. It's basically a Palm Pilot in a phone, or a phone in a Palm Pilot, or something like that. It's a Palm Pilot that you can phone people with. It's got calculator. I can put calendar entry dates in there. I can write little notes in memos, things like, don't forget to do laundry or whatever. Though that would be more of a calendar entry, I guess. But I can do all kinds of stuff. And there's even a little game on there that I can play. So technology is moving so fast. I think that's why people hate us. Deneb XT says, "But it can it fix my marriage?" Probably could in a way. If you showed your spouse, your Palm Pilot / phone, they might be so impressed that they'd be like, "Well, maybe this person is worth sticking with." Okay, everybody. Gang in Red 7438 says, "Does it graph for you?" I don't know. Computer, what does it mean to graph someone?
As a verb, graph can have a couple meanings. 1. To draw a curve as representing a given function. 2. To represent by means of a graph.
So you're asking, does it represent by means of a graph? I don't know. It's starting to get a little complicated for me. Renthar says, does it have apps? My favorite app is called Clock. Yeah, it has a whole clock in there, world clock, where you can see the time in any place in the world. As long as you can name the geographical location, it will tell you what time it is there. No need to ever go up to a stranger anymore and say, what time is it? Because we all remember how awful that was. You had to get up the nerve to just go up to a complete stranger and just say, excuse me, what time is it? And half the time they wouldn't know what you were talking about. They'd be like, what time is what? And then you'd say, well, what time is it? Like it, you know? And they'd be like, it what? What are you talking about? I'm trying to have a smoke here, and you're bumming me out. Nancy Droodles says, bring back the sundial. Yeah, that's what we might have to do in order to get away from this incredible roller coaster of technology that we're on. McFlurry Mac says, that makes me want to regress even more into my social anxiety and not face it. Yeah. Boy, I really hate those days when you'd have to ask somebody for directions also. You'd go up to somebody and be like, hey, excuse me, how do I get to City Hall? And they'd be like, City Hall? You're nowhere near City Hall. And you'd be like, yeah, that's why I'm asking you to tell me how to get there. What the fuck did you think I was doing? And they'd be like, well, why do you want to go to City Hall? I'd be like, I don't. I want to go to a coffee place that's near it, but if I get to City Hall, I'll know where I am from there. I don't miss those times. Okay, everybody. Computer, how much time left?
There are no timers set.
Okay, just wanted to make sure there weren't any timers set. Okay, what are we doing? Oh yeah, today we're going to be making quesadillas. I didn't have really time. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that. Let's go through our alerts here. The Gym Dodger. Hey, thank you very much, the Gym Dodger, for subscribing. It's very good to see you, and I hope you're doing well and your guitar playing's doing well. Kalamazoo Dog, whom I met in Park City a couple of years ago. Already, it's been years since I met Kalamazoo Dog, and I feel like that was a recent development in my life. But Kalamazoo Dog, thank you very much for subscribing for 47 months. And thank you, Lady Dina, 17, for cheering. Very kind of you, Lady Dina. I like to see those cheers, and I'm very appreciative. And we got another one. I Slap Cat Butts has just cheered 12 bits. Thank you so much, I Slap Cat Butts. That's very kind of you. Some of you might be wondering where Brisket is. Well, Brisket is such a... How do I do this now? Such a popular item in my apartment complex that the neighbors' children wanted to watch her for a couple hours. So let's see what happens here if I go to the Brisket cam. We don't really get anything here. And it's very dark for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of dismal, but don't worry. Brisket is having a great time hanging out with children. And but Brisket will probably be back here soon. So Dendra Leon says, yeah, Brisket's on a play date. Yeah, Brisket is doing pretty well, I gotta say. Almost kind of too well, getting a little bit cocky. And I don't think I like that too much. I don't like it when she feels like she's a more self-assured person than I am. Although that's not hard to do, I guess. Mystic Sorcha says, is she officially yours or are you still fostering? It's still fostering situation. I'll keep everybody updated. It might be a foster fail situation. We'll see. Unsuccessfully coping says, is Brisket coming out of her shell? Oh, yeah, very much so. Parasitosis says, good day to you, Henry. I recently started putting drugs in my friend's coffee because they keep complaining about how much they hate their job. Yep, I hear you. Hopefully, caffeine is a drug. Hopefully, that's the drug that you're putting in there. So, with the next drug test, they won't have to work that shitty job. Oh, okay. So, you're doing a favor for them, actually. Hope it's a great Sunday for you. Hey, thank you very much, Parasitosis. Hope it's a good Sunday for you. Thank you for sharing that anecdote. Is it an anecdote? It's really more of a tidbit of information, but nonetheless, we appreciate it here. Lord Bloom says, what a kind man. Yeah, wonderful life hack, Venus Frogsky. Yeah, if you ever need to be fired from something, just fail at it. That's how you get through it. Ghostina Gutter says, hey, Henry and Chat and Brisket, I started my Sunday off with heartburn. Any tips? Yeah, I think Tums is one of the things that you're supposed to take 2 Tums for heartburn. There's also, who else is there? Or what else is there? There's Alka-Seltzer, but I think they wound up finding out that actually makes it worse. I don't know. I don't really know much about those kind of drugs. But I think Tums is the one you want. Or Rolaids, I think, is the other one. Corain says, hey, Henry, big fan. Someone said you died. Yeah, that happens a lot on the internet. I am alive and well. Not always well, but I'm definitely alive. Nancy Drudel says, remove heart, run under cool water. Oh, okay, so that's some stuff to do if your heart is burning. Now, do you mean your heart is burning in a metaphorical sense, like an 80s power ballad type way? Corain says peppermint tea. But that could be an answer to anything. I assume that's an answer to your question about how do you deal with heartburn, but it could be an answer to one of the questions that we had weeks ago, like what would be a good name for a band. Beanie Bobini says, Henry, you wouldn't ever drug test me, right? I don't think I would. Because I don't really have all the equipment, but I might order you to be sent to a drug testing facility and have them do it. It's Kate X says, is this pre-recorded? No. Although there's really no way that I can prove that to you, unfortunately. Michelle Heffy is here from Orca Mind. Michelle and Josiah, it's always good to see you, and they're doing great stuff on Twitch, so check out Orca Mind, all one word, ORCAMIND. They make great music, and it's a lot of fun. And I got to meet them when I met Kalamazoo Dog a couple of years ago. I can't believe it's already been a couple of years. That's really messing me up, thinking about how that's already a long time ago. Guitar Joe says, Henry, you don't look any sadder than usual. Well, that's good. Can we assume the roaches haven't made any more appearances? Yes, I have not seen one since the last time we had the stream. There are some theories on the table. One of them is that maybe they were grossed out by whatever it was that I was making, and then whoever the lead roach was said, no, we're going to the neighbors here. This place sucks. I don't know. But either way, I'm happy to have not seen them. Hey, Josiah. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Hope you're having a great Sunday too, Josiah. Good to see you guys on here. Super Nick 188 says, I'd love to throw rocks at that place in the background. Okay, well, there already are rocks. This is a picture. Whoa, hold on. What the fuck? Gumme Candy just gifted us 5 tier 1 subs. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, Gumme Candy, for the gifts. I want to thank Maui Girl 45 for giving us this beautiful picture. I do have an announcement to make. I do get a lot of offers for sponsorships. A lot of times they're video games. Some of them have been food items that we've made on here, and the streams sometimes can be kind of awkward, but I always try to keep them very honest and hopefully entertaining. I received an offer for a food product. It's a Walmart pork line that they're working with. And I'm going to go ahead and do the sponsorship. And it's going to start Wednesday. All of the streams for the next 8 streams in June are going to be sponsored by Walmart pork products. And I'm going to be making food. In some cases, making food using their products. And in some cases, just making my own food. But they will be sponsoring it. And the way that one of the reasons I wanted to bring that up is because during that time, subs will only be half price. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, it would be only $2.50 as opposed to the $5, I believe, whatever it normally is. And yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks for all the support. Share Not the Singer, Beelzebub, Parasitosis, Nancy Droodles. Henry, it's people. You're eating people. Oh my God, I hope not. No, I'm going to test the product out before we start doing the streams, and I'm going to prepare some recipes using it. But I'm very grateful to get a sponsorship because it's been tough. There's been some tough things that I've gotten blindsided by. Quanto says, get that bag, Henry. Yeah, I'm going to be grabbing that bag for sure. It's Kate X says, I don't have Walmart over here, but if I did, I'd shop there thanks to Henry's Kitchen. Well, thanks, It's Kate X. Guitar Joe says, sweet, all I have to do is fix my PayPal and start eating pork products and move to a location close to a Walmart. Yeah, you have a lot of work to do here. Thanks, Mystic Sorcha. No shame here. Matt Toenail says, become a sack chaser, Henry. Yeah, I really need to start chasing sack. Budgies are cool. Are you really near the coast? Name 5 sea creatures. Am I near the coast? Seaweed, is that a creature? That's the only one I can think of. Stingray. Siconic says, just move closer to Walmart, bro. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Guitar Joe says, hashtag chasing sack. Yeah, that should be the hashtag for when you're doing an ad. It should say hashtag ad and hashtag chasing sack. Lord Bloom says, no weed is something you smoke. That's one way to say it. Yeah. It's Kate X says, who is Chase and why is his sack here? I don't know. Portuguese man of war. Maui Girl 45 says, oh, okay. Maui Girl is answering your question. Man of War, which was also an incredible heavy metal band in the 80s. I loved Man of War. They were a band out of Buffalo, New York that probably had never been outside of Buffalo, New York, but they had all these songs about the Middle Ages in England, like Hail to England and The Blood of My Enemies. But, you know, Buffalo, New York can be a pretty dangerous place as well. Okay, everybody, let's switch. This is a beautiful background, and it actually would be appropriate for our first song, but I don't think I'm going to use it because we've had it up for a while, so I'm going to do a different. Why don't we use this picture from Dendroleon? It looks to be just a very nice little, is that a little babbling brook? And yeah, let's use this. This is a song we've done here a lot. I wasn't going to do it just yet because it's not quite the summertime. Computer, what is the first day of summer?
In the United States, summer begins on Sunday, June 21st.
Sunday, June 21st. So we're a week out, but in anticipation of summer, we're going to go ahead and do this song that we like to do during the summer because Kala requested it last week. It's a beautiful song by someone named Josh Pike, and I recommend you listen to the studio version of it, but I'm going to do the best that I can here with the regular version. You have to, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult to get all the words out here. If I could bottle up the sea breeze, I would take it over to your house and pour it loose through your garden, so the hinges on your windows could rust and color like the boats pulled up on the sand for the summer, and your sweet clean clothes would go stiff on the line. There'd be sand in your pockets and nothing on your mind. But every year it gets a little bit harder to go back to the feeling of when we were 15 and we could jump in the river upstream and let the current carry us to the beginning where a river meets a sea. And all of our days were a sun-drenched haze while the south spray crusted on the window panes. We should be living like we did that summer. I wanna live like we did in the summer. We should be living like we lived that summer. I wanna live like we live in the summer. We should be living like we lived in the summer. I wanna live like we live in the summer. Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath here. And I'll remember that summer as the right one. The storms make the pavement steam like a kettle, and our first goodbyes always seem like hours in the car park in between the house and yours. And if the summer was a song, then we might sing forever. Then the summer and the felt before. There's no place to take a breath. We should be living like we lived that summer. I wanna live like we did in the summer. We should be living like we lived that summer. I wanna live like we live in the summer. We should be living like we lived in the summer. I wanna live like we live in the summer. Okay, this is a bridge part which I never really remember. Calicus is here. We should be living like we lived that summer. Yeah, we really should. And I think we kind of are. We're living like we did last summer when I did this song, probably to the same background. But time is like the ocean. You can only hold a little in your hands. I always go into the William Shatner version of it. So we swim before we're broken, before our bones become black coral in the sand. And they will. Years go by. Only recently I met Kalamazoo Dog and Orca Mind in the lobby of a theater in Park City, Utah. And already it's been years. And eventually we will all be black coral in the sand. I mean, I know that's dark, but it's one of those unavoidable things. Me, probably much sooner than you guys, but that's okay. We should be living like we lived that summer. I wanna live like we live in the summer. We should be living like we lived in the summer. I wanna live like we lived in the summer. I wanna live like we lived in the summer. We should be living like we lived in the summer. And then the outro. If I could bottle up the sea breeze, I would take it over to your house and pour it loose through your garden. I wonder what he's talking about. Anyway, that's a wonderful song by Josh Pike. It was a semi-okay version of it on my behalf. It was a little bit suicidio. Hey, thanks, Sharonot the singer. Very nice to hear from you. And the Gym Dodger says he wants to cause them a damp issue. Philomer says onomatopoeia. True. McFlurry Mac says last summer I played COD all day. Michelle Heffy says Park City, Utah memories fading into the sand. Yeah. Like sand through an hourglass, So are the days of our lives, I think is the way it's been said by the soap opera. Maui Girl 45, at this point, I'd rather drink the vodka straight versus having a sea breeze cocktail. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had a sea breeze. Computer, how do you make a sea breeze?
Okay, for Sea Breeze, I recommend Sea Breeze from Absolute Vodka, 5 minutes to make. What would you like? Start recipe, save recipe, send to phone,
Whoa.
add to list, or
Whoa.
minutes recipe.
Hey, calm down. I'm not gonna make one right now. I'm just saying, how do you make it? Like, I didn't mean I'm gonna make a freaking cocktail right now. It's 12:25.
Okay, for cocktail, I recommend Whisked Cocktail from the New York Times, 2 minutes to make. What would you like? Start recipe, save
No.
recipe, send to phone.
No, I don't
add
want
to
to.
list, or
Computer,
minutes
stop.
recipe.
Just stop. Oh, now I got Amazon trying to push booze on me in the morning. Well, the afternoon, I guess, technically. But for a lot of people, it's the morning. Has anybody done the reverse of the Jimmy Buffett thing where it's 5? Is it Jimmy Buffett who said it's 5 o'clock somewhere? Or maybe that was somebody else. But has anybody refused to drink and said, no, I can't really, it's 10 a.m. somewhere? That would be like an interesting variation on that. Gaming Jacob says 48 years of this. HE double hockey stick called the kitchen. Fun fact, that's how many bones are in the human foot. 48? Oh wow, I didn't know that. Another fun fact, I have no clue how many bones there are in a human foot. That's okay, Gaming Jacob. I just want to let you know, a lot of times here, we will rattle off statistics, but 50% of the time, we are just talking out of our ass. For example, when I just said 50% of the time, I have no idea if it's 50% of the time. But we all know that statistics are only right about 38.6% of the time. Maui Girl 45 says, I quit drinking because of one bad night with Franzia boxed wine. Oh, Franzia, I thought that was the name of somebody at first, but you're talking about a product. Parasitosis says, computer, what are the odds of me getting cancer from a car? Uh-oh. We're getting nothing on this. Computer, what are the odds of me catching testicular cancer in a car?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I mean, I would say 0, but I guess that there's just no information about it. Okay, everybody. Let's change this up. Thank you very much, Dendra Leon, for that cool background. That was fun. I had a good time with that. Phaedra sends us a picture of something called Devil's Spine. Sorry, everybody, I had to sneeze. Devil's Spine Shiprock. Phaedrus, aka Thitchin Hat, always sends us stuff from the American Southwest, which I think is awesome. And a lot of you are in the American Southwest, and I need to get off my ass and do a gig there. I did try one venue and didn't get any luck, but I'm going to keep working on it. Okay, Lisi sends us another picture from Montreal. This is beautiful. Montreal, what an incredible city. It's just fantastic. I have great memories. I used to go there every year. McFlurry Mac says, sounded like a coughed sneeze. Painful. Yeah, I was trying to hold it in and it came out weird. Never try to hold in a sneeze because you're going to make a sound that's even weirder than the one that you're trying to hold in. And also never try to yawn and laugh at the same time. That's a weird one too. Corinne Opinion says, if you have testicular cancer, do you lose the ball hair? I don't know, but if so, then that would probably be one of the perks of it, I guess. Everyone type Forson says, don't hold in a sneeze behind a lovely lady at the DMV. Yes, don't do that. And also, never ever sneeze while carrying hot coffee, especially if you're walking through an airplane aisle or down a theater aisle, any kind of aisle. All right, well, this is beautiful. Thanks, Lisi, for sending us this picture from your trip. It looks really nice. And Capacious Tea sends us a really nice one. This is apparently an asphalt factory, presumably in the southeast region of the United States, which is usually where Capacious Tea sends pictures from. Mimsy Coon's here. Hey, Mimsy Coon. Hello, right back to you. I hope you're having a good Sunday. We're going to be doing some cooking, but right now we're trying to put it off as long as possible. Here, I've got lighting issues here. Is this better? This is better. Look, I have no problem with the fact that I wouldn't say I'm losing my hair. I'm going to say I lost a lot of my hair in my 20s. And I'm okay with it, whatever. But what I don't like is having a beam of light just shining right on the empty part to highlight it. That I think I have the right, like I'm not in denial, but I don't want to actually highlight the whole situation there. So hopefully that made it a little bit better. No, it's still highlighted. Not much we can do. This is not a professional enough situation where we get to have all kinds of cosmetic fixes on the star of the show. If I'm even the star of the show. I think the food is the star of the show. Game Master Flash is here. What up, users? What up, right back to you, Game Master Flash. I got to figure out, okay, you know what song I'm going to do? This is a song that was requested to us on the Discord by oh boy. I think it was Beanie Bobini. Correct me if I'm wrong. Our intern Beanie Bobini wanted to hear Lady Madonna by the Beatles. So I believe that was it. So let's go ahead and do that. But let me know if I have that wrong. Lebratz says, I'm sure you can find your hair if you tried to look under tables. Is that a thing where people lose their hair under tables? Here. Oh, it is right. Okay, great. Well, thanks, Beanie Bobini. I love the Beatles. This is going to be fun. Here's a beautiful background that was contributed by Pisces Baby. Very, very nice. We've got is that a bird there strutting their stuff? Very cool. Waffles92 says, why is the building where I work at your background? You work at an asphalt factory? Wow. That's very cool. Ladies Laid says, sing Lady Dina instead of Madonna. Okay. Well, there's one syllable that's a little bit off, but I think we can probably do that. This is about a mom with children having a tough time pay the rent. But so maybe I'll start off with Lady Dina and then we'll change it. But we'll see how it goes. Lady Dina, children at your feet, wondering how you manage to make ends meet. Who finds the money when you pay the rent? Did you think that money was heaven sent? Friday night arrives without a suitcase. Sunday morning creeping like a nun. I picked a weird key for this. Monday's child has learned to tie his bootlace. See how they run. Lady Madonna, baby at your breath, wondering how you're managing to feed the rest. Baba, 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 baba. I don't have good pitch. What is this? Baba, 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 baba. See how they run. Lady Dina, lying on your bed, listen to the music playing in your don't really know this song very well, but I'm trying to do the best that I can. And here at Henry's Kitchen, we're not really into perfection. We're not even necessarily into being good at something. We're just trying. Tuesday afternoon is never ending. See how they run. Lady Dean is 17, children at your feet, wondering how you manage to make ends meet. All right. Beanie Bo Beanie says, fuck, that is so awful. Yeah, it wasn't the best. I had a hard time with the pitch, especially on the bridge part, and I might have picked a key that wasn't ideal for me particularly. Unicorn Physics says, good job. Beanie Bo Beanie says, no, Henry. Yeah. Lady Dina says, yeah, okay, well, that's good. Clap. Beelzebub says, that's not kind, Beanie. No, I'm aware that Beanie was actually responding to someone else with that comment. Something about Oliver Tree, is that something that we should be sad about? I don't know Oliver Tree, but R.I.P. It's always sad when there's an R.I.P. A music artist like died in a helicopter crash. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible to hear that. Happens to so many. You know, we've talked about Jim Croce and John Denver. John Denver probably had it the worst because he had a song called Leaving on a Jet Plane, and it's like, well, I guess people are going to make that joke. That sucks. But ADHDJ says he was a great creator and musician. Well, I'm going to check out the stuff. Very sorry to hear about that, you guys. I know it's all very different generations and stuff, but when Ozzy died, I felt a little bit of actual pangs, as if I knew him, but I didn't really know him personally, but I grew up with his music, and I always liked him a lot, so I know how that feels. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that request, Beanie. And Capacious Tea has given us a beautiful, beautiful drawing of brisket. Wow. I hope we get to see brisket before the stream is over. I'll get a knock on the door, but brisket is pretty wonderful. But she. I keep on referring to brisket as a he. I don't know why. Probably because for so many years, my cat Roast Beef was a he, so I got used to saying that. But brisket is actually a she, we found out. Coraine says, do you know Sad Songs by AJJ? I feel like you could have written it. No, I don't. I'll check it out. Did you put it in the Discord? Put it in the Discord and I'll listen to it. Snisku says, Ozzy passed about a week after I made a bet with some Canadians that Keith Richards would outlive him. Yeah, Keith Richards, I don't think there's any explaining that. Keith Richards is just probably disproving anything bad that anybody has said about health. Purple is a Fruit sends us this cool picture of what appears to be some type of a reptilian figure. Maybe, is this a frog or a toad? I never really knew the difference. I can't tell because of the scale. Computer, what is the difference between a frog and a toad? Computer, what is the difference between a frog and a toad?
From differencebetween.com. The key difference between frogs and toads is that the frogs have long legs and smooth skins covered in mucus, while the toads have shorter legs and rougher, thicker skins.
When I was young, I had arms covered with mucus, but that didn't really make me a toad, I don't think. Guitar Joe says, he's only 82. 82? Do they live that long? Computer, how long do frogs live?
A frog's lifespan is typically between 1 year and 8 years.
Oh yeah, it must be a toad then. Toads live 82 years old. I Slap Cat Butts says, I put an AJJ song in there ages ago and also said it sounds like one of yours. It's in your wheelhouse. Okay, I'm going to look out for it. Put in sad songs, and that'll be my introduction. Okay. Oh, Lebrat says it's an amphibian. I said reptile. That's probably wrong. I was never very good at, what's the word for that? I don't even know the word for it. Taxidermy, I think. Lady Dina 17 says, hope I'll look that good at age 82. Yeah, I would say so. I hope so too. Parasitosis says biology. Yeah, I think that's what the word I was thinking of. All right, well, we're just running through the picks here. We're basically trying to put off the hard part of the day, which is going to be cooking. It's going to suck. Today's going to really suck. AP1GCZO. No, this is Nymph NL. Sends us this picture. Wow, this is a cool one. What is that, a pigeon? Wow, what a cool pic this is, even if I'm covering up the pigeon. It kind of makes me want to do another song. You know what? I'm going to do a song that was requested to us. This one was requested to us by Royal Flush 9. This is a song that I'll just do a little bit of it because it's a little monotonous, but this was a song that AC/DC made called Big Balls, and it was, I think, a little bit of a double entendre, but it did get played on the radio because I don't think there's any bad words in it, but it's clearly they're doing some kind of play on words, I think. John of the Shred says, new Jose album is incredible, Henry. Tell him I said it was worth the wait. Wow, thanks so much, John of the Shred. That's really cool to hear. And for those of us hanging out, and I don't know quite how to pronounce his last name, but I think it's Matt Westricher. I know how to spell it. Oestricher. Matt, who hung out with us, John of the Shred, and everybody after the show in Fairfield, Connecticut. Matt put some really great keyboard parts and some string parts and stuff on a few of the tracks, notably Uber. I mean, he pretty much arranged Uber and made it really sound really great. So that's kind of cool that we all hung out. Yeah, in Connecticut, that guy Matt that we were hanging out with after the show. That was one of the coolest parts about it, is I could call musicians that were old friends, newer friends, and just say, hey, is there something you can contribute? And they did. And it's all listed on the Bandcamp page. All right. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of this AC/DC song. I remember hearing this one when I was a little kid, but it's Bon Scott, the late Bon Scott, just being kind of goofy. Let's check in with our alerts here. It looks like I'm Ugly has subscribed. Thank you very much, I'm Ugly, for subscribing. And also Hammy X Hams says bravo. Hey, thank you very much, Hammy X Hams. Very nice of you. Beanie Bobini says, I'm headed to the beach with my family who still talks to me. Hope the quesadillas are fucking delicious. Yeah, they will be. Hey, Beanie, I think you're in the Minnesota area. So what's the beach there? Would it be one of the Great Lakes? Or do you go to one of the rivers? Or one of the lakes? Because it's the land of 10,000 lakes, I believe. Or more, we figured out. But I'm curious to know what your beach of preference is there. It sounds pretty awesome to go to the beach in Minnesota. Just a lake beach. Okay, cool. One of the 10,000 of them. It's got to be difficult to nail down, hey guys, I'm going to go to the beach today. Oh yeah, which one of the 10,000 of them? You probably have to hear that all the time. Super Nick 188 says, hey, I'm in Minnesota too. Oh, cool. We should go to the beach with Beanie. I Slap Cat Butts says it's only a 20 hours drive to the nearest ocean. He's probably doing that. No, I think I've been to Grand Haven. I think it was called Grand Haven or Big Haven in Michigan. And that's a proper beach where you can see the horizon and the whole bit. Like you literally can't see the other side. It's pretty great. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do this song by AC/DC called Big Balls. I think Andrew Lloyd Webber stole this part from AC/DC for his song Phantom of the Opera. Well, I'm upper class, high society. God's gift to ballroom notoriety. And I always fill my ballroom. The event is never small. The social pages say I've got the biggest balls of all. I've got big balls. I've got big balls. They're such big balls. And they're dirty big balls. That's too bad they're dirty. And he's got big balls. And she's got big balls. But we've got the biggest balls of them all. Let's check out the alerts here. We've got Anonymous. You remember the group Anonymous. They're the ones who do all the digital hacking in the name of social issues and stuff. And it says here, Anonymous has gifted a tier 1 sub to Luke at my ass. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for giving that gifted sub to Luke at my ass. At my ass is a last name. Is that a Eastern European name? It sounds... I'm not really good at knowing where names are from, but thank you very much nonetheless. And I want to thank Luke at my ass for joining us here today. Corinne Opinion says it sounds exotic. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. It looks like I've fallen victim to another one of these pranks. Luke at my ass is probably not a real person. That's a name that was probably chosen to be humorous at my expense. Well played, Anonymous. You did it. A lot of times I'm distracted. It makes me an easy target, but it's all in fun, and I appreciate the gifted sub there. And there is nobody named Luke at my ass, but maybe there is somebody with that name as a joke, and I'm still happy that they could join us. Okay, everybody. I Slap Catbot says, is he related to Anita Meant to Suck Me? Okay, all right, come on. Let's stop. Let's get back to work here. John of the Shred says his best friend is Mike Crotch. Okay, all right, we're going to stop that and go right back into the second verse of this song by AC/DC called Big Balls. All right, here we go. And my balls are always bouncing, and ballroom always full, and everybody comes and comes again. If your name is on the guest list, no one can take you higher. Everybody says I've got great balls of fire, which was a song by... oh God, why am I blanking on it? Jerry Lee Lewis. I've got big balls, I've got big balls. They're such big balls, dirty big balls. I'm doing this kind of like the Monster Mash, which I think this kind of was. But we've got the biggest balls of them all. Frivolous Disguise says, hi Henry, how are you going today? I'm going good. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm glad that you came in and interrupted with that question, because that song was just awkward. It's a very funny song. I remember laughing at it a lot when I was a young man listening to AC/DC, and it was one that I did get played on the radio because there was this feeling that maybe the radio didn't know that they were making that joke, but I think they probably did. Hey, it's just about that time. Look, we've got some food waiting for us here. We're going to make some pretty good stuff here today, and I'm looking forward to it. Kalamazoo Dog says Jesse Wells was very recently released the Ballad of Big Balls. Really? But it wasn't the same, it wasn't the AC/DC song. Venus Frogski says, nice karaoke song. Oh yeah, no, that one'll definitely tear it up. Okay, so just real quickly, we're gonna finish out whatever. Oh, Nancy Droodles. This is a good one to end on. Nancy Droodles gives us this pick here. That is that. I don't actually. I like soccer, and I watch the local soccer games here in LA every now and then. But I didn't watch the World Cup. But this is a team probably celebrating that they won the World Cup. I'd be embarrassed if it's not even soccer. But oh, that's the New York Knicks. Oh boy, then I'm really embarrassed in that case. Oh God. Dazzlecat said somebody won. Guitar Joe says that soccer ball has weird lines. Oh yeah, it's a basketball. Gumme Cande says, good stuff, the Knicks did it. Yeah, I think there was a lot of love behind the Knicks because it had been many, many years since they had won. Computer, when's the last time the Knicks won?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with
I
that.
wasn't done with the question. Computer, when's the last time the Knicks won?
Yesterday, the Knicks beat the Spurs 94-90.
I know yesterday. I'm saying before that.
The Knicks won the series 4-1.
Computer, prior to yesterday, what was the last time the Knicks...
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, prior to yesterday, what was the last time that the Knicks had won?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay, Nancy Droodle says it was like 50 years ago. Okay, so let's just go with that. It was like 50 years ago. I thought that a computer that has a connection to all of human knowledge would actually be able to know the answer to that. Ron41 says 1970 something. Okay. We have a couple of people working on it. It's Kate X says, I bet Drunk Santa would know the answer. Yeah, probably so. All right, everybody, I'm starting to get hungry, so let's get to work here. We have a lot of work to do. Snisku says, unfortunately, I'm not connected to the internet like computer. Well, it doesn't seem to help computer. Okay, so we're going to be making quesadillas. I have a recipe up. We're going to call them sausage quesadillas. I wanted to call them kitchen sink quesadillas, which means you put everything in there. But all I really found was cheese, and the only thing that makes it sort of unique is I have a piece of sausage here. This is some maple apple smoked sausage or something along those lines, chicken sausage. But it's going to be good, and you know what? Even if it's not good, I'm really hungry, so I'm just going to eat it, whatever it is. The Balder Dash Lad says river bison. Why would river bison be here? Why would we even be... Is there a reference to the river bison sausage? Oh, sausage made out of river bison? Reverb is on. The reverb is on. The reverb is on. Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. Yeah, sorry. There was a technical problem here where I left the reverb on, and it was just given to me in coded language. So let me go ahead and fix that now. Check one. I turned off the reverb. Okay, so we have here some other alerts to go through. And I have a big announcement that I'm about to make too. Joey B 12399. Joey B 12399, thank you so much for your 5-month subscription on Prime. And also John of the Shred, Monster Mashing the Balls. Thank you so much, John of the Shred. Thanks for the subscription and thanks for all the support. And great to hang out with you. And Sociopathogen has cheered 200 bits. Thank you, Sociopathogen. Lady Dina just cheered 23 bits. Thank you so much, Lady Dina. That's very kind of you. And hot dog is a verb. Says Henry, is today's dish okay to feed to a newborn? She isn't drinking much breast milk because it tastes bad, but your dish looks delicious. Well, I mean, this is good food. I don't know that it's okay for a newborn. Yeah, Guitar Joe, we've got an announcement. We here at Henry's Kitchen, by we, I mean myself, but also the great Quanto, who's the technical director here at the Henry's Kitchen Enterprises. Quanto has come up with a feature that we're going to try today. It's a game, if you will. There are going to be these polls that pop up while I'm cooking, and you're going to be able to participate in them via Twitch. And hopefully Quanto's here and can help me figure this out. But there's going to be some challenges. So while I'm cooking, it'll say something like, use your left hand only, or put on the Onyo helm, or something like that. And it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for me to cook. And you can vote on it. And I think, let me know if I'm getting any of that wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and start the machine right now. And we'll see if the challenges come up. It started now. Let me know, Quanto, if I'm doing everything correctly here. Okay, do you guys see the live poll? There is a poll happening. Let me know if this is working from a technical perspective here, if you can. Nancy Droodle says it's working. Okay, good. All right, meantime, I'm going to show you what we're making here. We're going to start by putting this into an air fryer or of some sort, because that is not cooked. I mean, I think it is cooked, but it needs to be hot. So let me go ahead and do that. I have an air fryer here. I'm running out of surface space. Let's put this over here and put our air fryer over here. Some of those poll ideas might need a little bit of explanation that we might not have yet. But I guess I'm just going to put that on there for about 10 minutes. Franz Schubert says, Henry, have you thought about becoming a trillionaire? Then you could buy more space. Yeah, even if I became a trillionaire, I would still be meeting here with you guys. But I would be doing it with $1 trillion. That would be a much different situation than what we have. I'm going to check in on the polling. Okay, it looks like there has been a vote. And I think it's going to come in at some point. I want to make sure I'm getting all of this right. Okay, It's Kate X says add coming. Okay, so we're going to be adding coming. I think there's supposed to be an alert, but we didn't get the alert. But we'll figure out why that is later. We probably need Quanto. Now I gotta find coming. And it's very difficult to do. Oh my goodness. I Probably should have prepared this ahead of time. How does everybody find their spices? Because I always find it kind of impossible. I've got stoked paprika. I've got Ross El Hanout, ginger, turmeric, stoked paprika again. Should be thyme, coriander. Oh, here it is. Okay, the first challenge is we're gonna put cumin on it. So, by the way, I have a injury here. I don't know if you can see. I have a little Band-Aid situation, so I apologize about that. All right, so I'm gonna start, because of our poll here, I'm gonna start by coating our tortilla situation with some cumin. Computer, tell me about cumin.
As an adjective, common is usually defined as belonging equally to or shared alike by.
I can't even tell if
two or
it's
more
coming
or
out.
all in question. As a noun, common is usually defined as a tract of land owned or used jointly by the residents of a community, usually a central square or park in a city or town. For
And
more,
I've got a
see
little bit
even
of-
more definitions for common.
No, thank you. There's gonna be Band-Aid flare. Carino Pinion says, is this tortilla stale? I hope not. I don't know. I got it a long time ago, and I got it from a place that usually sells kind of old or expired stuff. But okay, now we're going to use what's called a microcosm. And what this does is it shreds our shiz. I'm going to be using my pecorino. Remember, pecorino is a very foul-smelling, sort of a putrid aroma. So you don't want to use too much. It's very, what's the word? Pungent and putrid and foul. But you do want some of it. Sheep cheese, Maui Girl calls it. Yeah, it could be. Is that mold? Oh my God, I hope that's not mold. It's been a long time since I bought it. Mystic Sorcha says, I love pecorino. You know what? It smells putrid and pungent, but it doesn't smell different from the way it tastes when it's fresh. Just avoid that area. Okay. The rind doesn't usually look like that. Ah, shit. Well, I don't know. I guess there's really no way to tell if your pecorino is expired or not, because it's gonna smell bad anyway. Venus Frogski says the mold strikes again. Oh, you guys are freaking me out. Computer, what's the worst thing that can happen if you eat mold?
From everydayhealth.com. Some symptoms of eating mold can include shortness of breath, nausea, an elevated temperature, or diarrhea.
Okay, so nothing really too unusual, I would say. Okay, well, we've added comment, so we can go ahead and dismiss that poll, and then there should be another one coming up soon. McFlurry Mac says, look at what WebMD says. Well, I can't really do that right now. Okay, there's a new poll, everybody, on Twitch, so check that out. I don't know where you guys are seeing the polls, but I just trust that Quanto has it all worked out. I think I was supposed to get some kind of see how our sausage is doing. I think it's probably doing. Woo! That is very hot. I think we're good on sausage. Let's take a look here. I don't know who I heard say sausage one time. It might have even been a friend from high school or something, but oh yeah, this is good. This is ready. 165. Computer, how hot should my sausage be?
From BakeHeightWithLove.com. The USDA recommends that pork sausage reach at least an internal temperature of 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
160. Yeah, we're way above that. So I don't know how that got so hot so fast, but it did. Whoo! That's very hot. Okay, we're done with the air fryer. Let's see how we're doing on our situation here. Let's check out this streams. Hey, Lady Dina, thanks again for 23 bits. That's very kind of you. Joey B12399 has gifted us or has subscribed for 5 months. Hot dog is a verb says that looks like about a 4-inch sausage there. Would you say that's about average or pretty big? I think it's a little bigger than that. It's Kate X says use non-dominant hand only won the poll. Oh boy, that's going to be difficult. So I'm right-handed. So we're going to be doing the rest of this with the left hand. Starting by grabbing our utensils. This part shouldn't be so bad. I have to plug it in with my non-dominant hand. You guys won't be able to see that, I guess. Actually, I can set it up so that you will. Hold on a sec. I think what I can do is put it on. Oh yeah, I have to do this with the non-dominant hand also. Wow, this is actually very tricky. Oh, I can push this. And we're just going to take this cord here. Okay, we did that. Oh, Carino Opinion says the worst thing is because it's mirrored. I'm not sure if you're actually using your non-dominant hand. Well, you can just trust me on that. Okay, so now we have a infrared stove, so we can put this on here. What we need to do now is cut our sausage with, oh wait, no, I can't use my right hand. It's a little tougher to get in there. Just going to clear that thing out of the way. hard to get small slices of this. Corinne Opinion says only a real chef could do this. Yeah, that is true. John of the Shred wants to know if this is green mold on the sausage. Oh man, I hope not. It might be, yeah, there's just some jalapeno, I think. Something. Oh. We're really getting there. What I don't want to do is lose any of this good sausage. Okay, let's go ahead now and put these sausage bits on top of our situation. I know you guys have questions. Venus Frogski says ASMR. Yeah, there was some ASMR going on. Smacking my lips, says Philimer. Well, I like to hear that. Wicked Delights says, at what point should I prepare my kitchen sink for this dish? No, I was going to call it the kitchen sink because you're putting everything in there but the kitchen sink. That was like an expression, but no, we don't have to do that. Okay, I also have this. Chad Gamer OG says, this is good practice if you lose your hand in a fight with a neighbor's chihuahua. Yeah, that is. I want to tell the kids out there, please don't challenge yourself to cut things with your non-dominant hand. I will say that I am doing this with my left hand, but I'm keeping this one safely away, so there's really not a lot of potential for damage here. Okay. I don't know how much of this we're going to really use. Very difficult. Very difficult indeed. Oh boy. I don't know. Maybe we're just going to do one more slice. There we go. Now let's take these 3 bits and let's cut these. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cook these up a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn on our stove. This is kind of cool that we have this. Okay. Going to do a little sauteing. Going to take our butter here. All right, I'm hoping that the challenge is done by now. Is the challenge done? I never got a thing saying that the challenge was done. Ishmael must have just joined. Why is Henry using only one hand? Did he injure his right hand in a Stroganoff incident? No, this was not a Stroganoff incident. This was a challenge that was created by our technical advisor, Quanto. Quanto has made it so that people can vote on a challenge. I think that one's done. I had to use my left hand for that. McFlurry Max says people who just joined will think that we are a show. Yeah, they would think that. Okay, so we have another one. We have another challenge. So we're going to dismiss the non-dominant hand. And now we've got sound check. we have to do a sound check while we're sauteing our situation. So I'm going to put these here. Oh, yeah, I can use both hands now. Computer, is it common to put bell peppers in your quesadilla?
Yes, adding bell peppers to a quesadilla is quite common. They
Okay.
bring a nice crunch and flavor.
I'm
Many
glad.
people enjoy mixing veggies like bell peppers, onions, and even mushrooms for extra taste.
I'm glad to
Feel
hear
free
that.
to experiment
Okay,
with favorite
stop.
ingredients.
Always goes on just too long. Okay, so we've got that. Now we have to do a sound check. So here we go. Beelzeby says, program probably both windows need to be closed, then reopen the app from desktop and then hit start, Henry. Oh, okay. Both windows need to be closed. Okay, well, let's do that then. Meantime, I'm going to start that again, but we do have a challenge, and that's to do a sound check. That was what the poll said. Sound check. Help. Help. Remember, first you want to do the word help because it does the full dynamic spectrum of the microphone. The softest sound, the H, the P, which is the plosive, that's the part that blows air there. So it's going to be the highest in wave magnitude. Help. 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 Okay, we've got another live poll going. Now, the next thing you want to test is the sibilance. What better word but asparagus? Asparagus. Asparagus, because it's got two S's in there. Asparagus. And you also want to counterbalance that with the F sound, which is similar to the S, and sometimes they get confused, so you want to make sure you're differentiating between them. Falafel. Falafel. Help. Help. Asparagus. Falafel. Help. Okay, I think we've done the sound check. I think it's working. We have a new challenge that's going to be showing up here any minute now. The live poll is there. I think it lasts about 2 minutes. Let's see how we're doing with this situation. I'm going to need a spatula of some sort. And you know what? It's called a quesadilla for a reason. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Cancel all timers. Okay. Computer, stop timer.
There are no timers set.
Okay, in that case, there were no timers set. We're going to dismiss it. Sometimes if I have a timer going, that one would have been a big challenge because then I'm just flying by the proverbial seat of my proverbial pants. Literally, proverbially flying by the proverbial seat of my proverbial pants. Okay. By the way, I am wearing literal pants also. Okay. But I'm taking off my proverbial pants. Okay. I'm just trying to get a couple more cuts into this thing. And I think this is going well. It's called a quesadilla, which literally translates into cheese turnover. But apparently there already was a thing called a cheese turnover. So they went with the Spanish name for this. Quesadilla. So But cheese is part of the name, so why don't we put some more cheese on there? Okay? And that's what I'm doing here. You can also make something called a 3-cheese quesadilla, but this is 2 cheeses. We've got our pecorino in there, and we've got our mild cheddar shredded. Cher, not the singer, says very well. Yes. Okay, well now I think we can put our veggies on top. Boy, I am hungry. I am so hungry. And this has a lot of coming because that was the first challenge that we did there. And what's nice also is now we've buttered up our surface pretty well. So that's going to be nice when we put our tortillas on it. Okay, look at that. That's looking nice. Are you there? Check. Help. You see me. Okay, it looks like it came back. Nancy Drudel says Henry and Quanto broke the internet. Is it possible that Quanto's invention was so powerful that it destroyed all of the internet in my local area? I don't know, but I'm back. I'm here, and we're leaving things right where they were. Computer, are you there?
I'm here. I listen once I hear the wake word.
Computer, I've never thought I'd be so happy to hear that damned voice of yours. Angry Penguin 922 says Quanto made a ripple in the time-space continuum. Parasitosis says I was about to use the bathroom, now I have to hold it in. Yes, you do. And we've got a poll going, if I'm not mistaken. We're all going to be okay. We sure are, the Balderdash lad. Jack626 says, hello, Henry. I'm very high on weed right now. Okay, well, that's good to hear, Jack626. Are you in the 626 area code? Okay, we have a new poll. Is that right? Oh, there's a new poll. Take care of it. I'm going to, I had to turn off my pan because it was getting, it was starting to smoke. But I'm going to put it back on. And where were we with this? I think we were, oh yeah, we were going to look at the poll. Corinne Opinion thought I was toast. Yeah, I thought I was too. I really hope that doesn't happen again. Maybe it's because it's getting hot here. I don't know. We've got 45 seconds left on the poll. Meantime, let's see what we have going on here. Oh boy, the AC just kicked on. That means it's getting hot here. It's getting very hot. It looks like the winner so far is going to be thanking the ingredients. We'll see if the alert comes on. We're experimenting with a new feature here today. Thank every ingredient. Okay. We used a lot of ingredients here today. Butter. I want to thank you so much for all that you do with your lubricating the situation. There are so many foods that are very stubborn and difficult to get out of your pan, especially even a no-stick pan doesn't work. We wouldn't be able to do it without you, butter. Coming. I have no idea what in the hell you taste like because I always only taste you with all these different ingredients, but I want to thank you as well because from what I understand, you are indispensable. Tech Shabby says, why did someone say check the news? I was scared. Uh-oh. Okay. Chicken sausage. What can I say? You are a wonderful addition to a recipe like this. It's not really something that goes into a quesadilla all the time, but it is definitely a treat. And so we want to thank Chicken Sausage and wow, Pecorino. Everything that you include yourself in is makes it finer. It makes it a more gourmet dish. And we just want to thank our Pecorino and our cheddar, of course, the star of the show. We couldn't have done it without you. We couldn't have done any of this. Or the tortilla, for example. I can't believe I almost didn't thank Tortilla. Tortilla has done so much for us. And bell pepper, thank you as well. You did make a contribution. So here we go. It's time for us now. Oh, I also want to thank Tabasco, no label Tabasco sauce. We're just going to put a little bit of you on there just for a little bit of spice. Okay, that was thank every ingredient. It's good. Just a little dot. You don't want too much of this. Just a little bit, guys. All right. Boy, I am so glad to be back. I thought I lost all of you for a second there, and it really bummed me out. Okay, there's that. And I'm going to put some other butter on the other side of this. And then I think it's definitely time to retire this butter. It's pretty nasty. Okay. Let's put this. This is the part we've all been kind of waiting for, I think. Let's put this. And our butter's there. Okay. And oh shit, we got to turn this sucker on. We are making a quesadilla. Pug Lady 2600 says, I missed it. Just refreshed. Was it good? No. We're still working on it here. The internet did go out, and I thought that I wasn't going to be able to get back on, but all of a sudden it came on. Ishmael says, call your ISP. Tell them you're a big Hollywood actor and they better get their shit together. You know what? I tried, but we only have one company that we can go through in my neighborhood. I think I tried changing companies and it was a mess. Or no, the other company that I can go through is just as bad or worse. Okay, next poll is going to happen in 1 minute. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm scared. We're going to leave our knife out because we want to quarter our quesadilla. It's not technically a quesadilla unless it's quartered. We also want to put our microcosm back. You don't need to wash this thing. You just need to dust it a little bit like that, and that should be okay. I'm going to put away our sausage. This stubborn thing keeps falling down. Put away our pecorino. Angry Penguin says if he can make time machines, I'm sure he can do that. Who's that? Quanto? Quanto can do just about anything. It's incredible. Okay, new poll is up, guys. Sausage. New poll. Wonder if it's time to flip this. I'm going to smash it down a little bit. You know what I might do? It is called a quesadilla, and it's called a quesadilla for a very specific reason. And that is that you want to put cheese on it. We've got our hot sauce here. There's another minute left. I Slap Catbot says stand on it. It's the only way. Oh, you're talking about to flatten it out? Let's take a look. I think I have a concave or convex tortilla here, which is causing problems. Guitar Joe says, I'm just voting for the least destructive. Philomer, put the foot cheese in the cheese turnover. Yeah, we're going to have to do something here. Also, I want to make sure this cheese is good. I mean, it says, what the fuck? Three times the current ingredient. Well, I would assume that's probably cheese. We're going to put a hell of a lot more cheese in this. I don't think I did put enough. I think we're just going to, if it were three times, I think we're just going to dump this whole thing of cheese onto there. That's a lot of cheese. This is all clumped. I don't like that. And I'm not sure why it is. I think because it's going bad. This thing's starting to come off kind of weird. I'm going to flip this. Cheese is overflowing outside of it. Smash it. We have a fat quesadilla here. I'm throwing this away. Sure Not the Singer says it's perfect. Angry Penguin says, I hope you have as much Metamucil as you have cheese. I haven't started up with the Metamucil yet. That's one of the old guy things that I haven't started doing yet. Maybe I should. All right. So I think we're going to put away the polling for now. Thank you, Quanto, for the Cooking Chaos software that's now included as part of the streams. We're going to have a lot of fun with that as time goes by. And I want to tell everybody again, if you're just joining us, I was approached by the people at Walmart Pork Products to do a series of sponsored streams for the whole month of June. There's going to be 8 streams total, and they will be sponsored. During that time, to subscribe, it's going to be half price, a 50% discount on subscribing, as well as we're going to have a lot of fun. The way I was thinking I would arrange the streams is that I would use, maybe we'll have a poll about this. Either the 8 most popular Henry's Kitchen recipes on YouTube, or maybe the first 8 for a little bit of nostalgia, or maybe 8 desserts. I don't know, but we'll come up with something. Guitar Joe says Walmart Pork Products, all one word. Yeah. Okay. Stream Elements wants to block me. I don't know why it wants to do that. I don't want it to do that. I slap cat butts. Thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Corinne Pinion. Very nice of you. And Lady Dina, thank you for all the cheers and bits. We are really doing okay here. Four Wheeler says the shepherd pie looked good even after Bill sat on it. Yeah, that's true. That was pretty good. Let's see how we're doing with our situation here. I think this quesadilla is getting close to being done. Oh boy, that's cheesy. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And you know what I noticed? The top of my Dutch oven fits exactly over my green pan. So I can actually turn that off and let it still sort of cook a little bit, and it'll be nice. All right, I think we're getting to that point where it's time to start making some decisions. Let's go ahead and do a song, shall we? I want to do this thank you song. Corinne Opinion says, yeah, it was gnocchi. He threw the shepherd's pie into the trash. Yeah, there's been a couple of episodes with Bill, the late Bill. I'm very sorry to say. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do our thank you song. I'm going to put the reverb on, but we're going to do it to the tune of Josh Pike's beautiful song, The Summer, which is always an exciting time for us when summer comes around and we get to do this seasonal song. McFlurry Mac says, don't forget to add the ingredients to the song. Oh, I could. Wait. I'm going to put the key up a little bit. Okay, here we go. Josh Pike's The Summer, but with the lyrics being a thank you to you, the users of the Henry's Kitchen situation. Flockin, Dingle Bob, Dom Beef, Hot Bear, 1110, Dude, Dingle Dog, Goggle, Dr. Flanges, Bacchus, Shane, yes, Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, It's Gate, Kairosa, Bumble Vision, and the LGX, Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Larkin Music, and the Toily, Nim, Moon, and Amaru, Orca Mind, S-Fan, and Bonnie. Dazzle Cat, Blurry Little Quest, Borson Vanilla, Parasitosis, and don't forget Beanie Bo Beanie, and Quanto, and BK69, Rose Tower 007, Royal Flush 9, Embry 225, Yarchasm, Nico Tazel, Michael Bublé 4422, Potato Cat, Breeder, Passion Error, Minho, Shin 64, Midnight Faded, JSBX Fan, Acid Test, Poolboy 789. D's Nuts Game Master, Flash, Mimsy, Coon, the Cat Food Taste Tester, the Cheernex, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom, GR, Tis, Michelle, Happy, Dazzle Cat, Zodbane, and Toke My Nuts, Saguaro, Uberito, 5555, Dinosaur, I Slap, Cat Butts, JV's Tech, Sickly Boy, Beelzebub, Headlips 1, and Caitlin's Kitchen. Outro. Lacey T, Pete Purple Donut filling his fruit, Tankard and Borson, Van Zodiac Tone, Gary Busey, ASMR, Lurk Pole, Shandis Nova Galarian, Mr. Gooseberry VT, don't forget Beanie Bo Beanie, and Quanto. Okie dokie. All right. Hold on, everybody. We have another surprise. We have another surprise here. Hold on. I'm going to put the camera on. Let's see here. Well, I might not work right now, actually. I'm trying to get it looks like brisket's back, but maybe we'll just go ahead and skip it for now because brisket, for whatever reason, is just kind of skittering about. But here, I think brisket is camera shy. There we go. Okay. We got a little shot there of brisket. Still looking for a home. Will eventually, but boy, that was a lot of work to just get to one thing. All right, so now we're at that point where we're going to go ahead and see what the hell we made here today. Pisces baby says she looks weary. She is. It's been a tough life. Whoo! That's very hot. I'm going to use my Crown Royal bag as a pot holder. Computer, is it legal to use a Crown Royal bag as a pot holder?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Oh, interesting. You know what? This doesn't smell very good. I don't know why. There's a couple of wild cards. The cheese was left open. It wasn't sealed. So the cheese might not be good. But also there's sort of a metallic, weird kind of a smell. But it looks good, and that's half the battle. Okay, we're getting more brisket footage here. Definitely had a long day. Brisket's getting a little bit cocky. I think her heart is in the right place, but it's still kind of annoying. Venus Frog Ski, will this dish help with my constipation? No, actually this is gonna do the exact opposite. Okay. Sharon Out the Singer says, looks great, smells metallic. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that metallic smell, but let's eat it. I don't think there's anything in there that's gonna kill me. We have a hell of a lot of cheese in there. So it might kill me, but it would be a very low speed killing. Okay, well, and you can dip this in some kind of sauce if you want, but we're gonna go ahead and have it al fresco. Computer, what does al fresco mean?
As an adverb, al fresco is usually defined as out of doors, in the open air. As an adjective, al fresco is usually defined as outdoor.
Okay, so it doesn't mean what I thought it meant. I thought it meant have it without sauce, but it means eat it outdoors. Here we go. We're getting messages that the reverb is on. Check. It should be gone. You know what? The bell pepper is good, and I was kind of worried about that. It's crunchy and sauteed and tasty. The sausage is good. I'm not tasting the metallic taste. Maybe that was coming from the pan. Honestly, guys, this is pretty good. I'm going to put it at the pretty good level. It's not fucking delicious. Fucking delicious usually means I'm extremely overwhelmed by how good it is. This tastes a little bit like, I'm smelling that metallic thing again. What is that? Is it the infrared stove? Is something burning? I don't like that, but I don't think it's in my food. Maui Girl says use a different different cheese next time. Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that. Cheese was probably the most underwhelming part of it, and we had a lot of it. Corinne Opinion says it might be the micrometallics in the water. Okay, well, let's hope. Ishmael says the metallic smell is typically caused by oils reacting with metal. Yeah, well, we used butter. I mean, this thing isn't metal, is it? But we definitely have that. Anyway, guys, we did it. There was an interesting stream. We tried the new feature from Quanto, and I think it worked. And we did a little bit of tech solving. We actually lost internet, but then it came back, and we pulled through. You're right, Balderdash lad. We did it. I feel like it's the end of some action movie, you know, like Die Hard or Independence Day or one of those things. We made it through the night, Mystic Sword just says. It's Kate X says, we made it through the night, as Jose would say. Yeah, we absolutely did. Jack OTPS says, also by tinfoil stuck on your meal. Well, there was tinfoil holding together my sausage. Nancy Droodle says it was another roller coaster of culinary conquest. It sure was. Quanto says, I have signal now. Did it work? Yes, it absolutely did work. Thank you so much, Quanto. Let's all thank Quanto for making a cool feature. We're going to be using that for the next 8 streams at least as we tackle the sponsored streams. You're going to have to hear me clumsily go through a 5-minute commercial for the product in the beginning of every hour. That part's going to be difficult. And then then it's just gonna be the regular stream. We're gonna do songs and other stuff, but also the sponsor will allow you to get 50% off of all your subs during that sponsored streams. Okay, I hope everybody's well. I want to thank you so much for being great, and thanks for joining us here on Henry's Kitchen today. Let's see, make sure I got all the alerts here. Ladies Laid, thank you so much for the cheers. And thank you again to I Slap Cat Butts for gifting a tier 1 sub to Corinne Opinion. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you Wednesday at 11 a.m. And I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. Is it